the details, I'm Sarah Adesanya. The Lagos residents have applauded the Babajide Sanwo-Olu and Obafemi Hamzat administration over their developmental strides in the state. Residents also lauded the state government's commitment to digital engagement, critical feedback, accountability, and transparency, while describing Lagos as becoming a nation within a nation, owing to its scale of development. These commendations came to the fore at a weekly X-Space discussion aimed at bridging the engagement gap between the state government and residents. Ask Lagos. Speaking on the topic, scorecard of the Sanwo-Olu and Hamzat administration, triumph and trials of second tenure in office, Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Benga Omotosho, highlighted tangible milestones achieved under the Themes Plus agenda. Omotosho spoke of massive improvements in transportation infrastructure, notably the operational blue and red rail line, the proposed green line, the purchase of new BRT buses, and junction improvement. In the health sector, Omotosho said projects such as New Marcy Street Hospital, maternal and child care hospitals in Badagry, Echiosa, and the new general hospital in Ojo are taking shape to take care of the health challenges of Lagosians. Omotosho also mentioned that over 2,000 education projects and the promotion of tech-driven learning environment have made it easy for students and teachers in the state to thrive both locally and internationally. He said Lagos has just been declared the world's best technology innovation center in the world, stating that there is a Lagos Science Research and Innovation Council, LASRIC fund that has about $1 billion to disburse to anybody who has any innovative idea for startups in the state. Omotosho reiterated the Sanwo-Olu and Hamzat administration's commitment to completing all ongoing projects while ensuring that Lagos remains Africa's model megacity. In line with the Lagos State's unwavering commitment to ensuring that no community is left behind in the quest for accessible health care, Health District 3 has successfully concluded an impactful medical outreach to 3 riverine communities in the Ekpa local government area of the state. The outreach delivered essential health care services directly to residents who typically face significant geographical barriers to access. Speaking on the initiative, the Permanent Secretary, Health District 3, Monsurat Adeleke, emphasized the program's holistic approach to community wellness. Adeleke described the initiative as a clear reflection of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration's commitment to equitable healthcare access, especially for underserved and hard-to-reach areas. The permanent secretary noted that the residents, including elderly individuals and young mothers, embraced the opportunity of the outreach for long-awaited health screenings and education on preventive practices. The outreach also featured maternal and child health education, distribution of essential medications, and awareness campaigns on preventive care, equipping community members with vital health knowledge. The newly appointed Acting Surveyor General of Lagos State, Olalekan Odupe, has held his inaugural meeting with the management and staff of the Office of the State Surveyor General, urging them to embrace punctuality, teamwork, and positive mindset that aligns with the Themes Plus agenda. Addressing staff at the Office of the Surveyor General's premises, Udupa called on the officers to collectively drive the agency's core mandate and enhance its service delivery to the public. Udupa further encouraged open communication amongst staff, just as he urged them to freely identify and discuss challenges that may hinder optimal performance. According to him, the management is committed to addressing such issues to create a more enabling and result-driven work environment. The Lagos State Physical Planning Permit Authority, LASPA, has raised concerns over the increasing trend of residents and occupants inhabiting buildings that are still under construction. Director of Monitoring and Compliance of LASPA, Olarinde Iola, expressed this concern during the authority's routine weekly enforcement exercise carried out by officials of the Monitoring and Compliance Unit. Iola said the monitoring and compliance officers of LASPA encountered resistance from some property occupants who attempted to prevent their buildings from being sealed, claiming they currently reside on site. The director observed that most of these properties were not only under construction but also lacked the necessary permits and approvals required for lawful habitation. He emphasized the grave danger of residing in unfinished structures, saying that living in a building under construction exposes individuals to serious safety risks, including falling debris, unstable scaffolding, exposed electrical wiring, and the potential for slips, trips, and falls. Iola advised prospective tenants to prioritize safety by renting only completed and certified buildings, urging developers and property owners to ensure that their buildings are fully completed and inspected before opening them to the occupied. And now to the rest of the stars. President Bola Tinubu will on Saturday, May 31, inaugurate 11 completed road projects across Nigeria, including the first completed section of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. According to the Federal Ministry of Works, the inauguration will be held both physically and virtually following presidential approval secured by the Minister of Works, David Umahi, to officially open a 30-kilometer stretch of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road to traffic. The Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway is one of the flagship Renewed Hope Legacy project under Tinubu's administration. Spanning 700 kilometers and covering 9 coastal states, the highway is expected to transform Nigeria's transport landscape, enhance economic connectivity, and open up tourism and investment opportunities along the country's southern corridor. In addition to the coastal road, President Tinubu will also inaugurate 10 other completed roads and bridges in Lagos, Rivers, Ogun, Oyo, Cross River, Ebonyi, and Enugu states. The House of Representatives has launched an investigation into the West African Examinations Council, WAEC, following shocking reports that some students were made to sit for the West African Senior School Certificate Examinations, WASE, around midnight in parts of Nigeria. Chairman of the House Committee on Basic Examination Bodies, Oboku Ofoji, described the development as a gross failure of responsibility, stating that the psychological well-being and safety of Nigerian students had been recklessly compromised. The committee summoned WAEC's leadership after receiving multiple reports of dangerous and irregular exam schedules, including cases where students were allegedly writing exams in the dead of the night, circumstances lawmakers described as inhumane and indefensible. And in foreign news, United States President Donald Trump has accused China of violating a 2-week-old truce on tariffs, a claim China has responded to with its own accusation of U.S. wrongdoing. Washington and Beijing has agreed to temporarily lower tit-for-tat tariffs after talks in Geneva earlier this month. U.S. Trade Representatives Jamieson Greer said China had not been removing non-tariff barrier as agreed on the deal. Responding, Beijing did not address the U.S. claims directly but urged the U.S. to cease discriminatory restrictions against China. In Geneva, Washington and Beijing had agreed to reduce tariffs imposed on each other's imports in a deal where both nations cancelled some tariffs altogether and suspended others for 90 days. The strong statements from both sides have raised concerns that trade tensions could again escalate between the world's 2 largest economies, despite recent negotiations. And in sports, English Premier League club Liverpool has announced the signing of Dutch international Jeremy Frimpong from Bundesliga champions Bayer Leverkusen. The 24-year-old right-sided player completed his move to Anfield after passing a medical and signing a long-term contract at the AXA Training Centre. Speaking to Liverpool media following the completion of the deal, Frimpong expressed his enthusiasm about joining the Reds. Frimpong joined Liverpool after 4.5 seasons with Bayer Leverkusen, during which he made 190 appearances, scoring 30 goals and 44 assists. It was instrumental in the club's historic 2023-2024 campaign that saw them win both the Bundesliga and DFB Pokal, going unbeaten in domestic competitions and setting a record 51-match unbeaten run that ended in Europe League final. Just before we go, your vehicle is not a strong room. Please always keep your valuables off the view of miscreant. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Solo administration empowered 600 women with ingenious business ideas to the tune of 4 billion naira through the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund LSETFW initiative to empower Lagosians? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, hear the highlight of the major stories. Lagos residents have applauded the Babajide Sanwo-Olu and Obafemi Hamzat administration over their developmental strides in the state. President Bola Tinubu will on Saturday, May 31, inaugurate 11 completed road projects across Nigeria, including the first completed section of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. We also told you that United States President Donald Trump has accused China of violating a 2-week-old truce on tariffs, a claim China has responded to with its own accusations of U.S. wrongdoing. And in sports, English Premier League club Liverpool has announced the signing of Dutch international Jeremy Frimpong from Bundesliga champions Bayer Leverkusen. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That is the news broadcast compiled by Adesanya Ejoyoka. I am Sarah Adesanya. Thank you for listening.
This message is brought to you by Mike Frost and Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM.
Obey the rules and regulations of the road for your own safety. Know the drive like say you get extra life for house. If you go, you don't go be that. The people know for see you again be that. Why you follow?